Also, and this is probably the easiest thing for us to speculate on, Bobby, you've run investigations like this. My speculation is the last thing they want to do is swing and miss. It's not like they got this guy at the airport on his way out of the country. Take us inside the room in terms of making a decision about making an arrest in a high-profile situation like this. I know you always want to be certain that you can make probable cause, but what's the heightened sensitivity here? How real is it?
Well, you have prosecutors, Chris, that are going to possibly seek a death penalty in this case. Death penalty cases have a much more reviews, much more appeals, and they're just much closely more watched. And so you had the agents or the detectives working together, and they're really waiting to see when the prosecutors are comfortable going forward, because that's who's going to stand up in court, right? And so they had to be very certain, not only that they had enough probable cause to get an arrest warrant, but they have enough to prove at trial and get the conviction, or else they wouldn't go forward. Remember, with double jeopardy, we get one shot at this. So I think that they have, we're talking about this piece of evidence or that piece of it. I think they have multiple pieces of evidence. I think they do have his DNA at the scene that matches the DNA they got him. I think they may have a witness that may have seen him leave that house that night. I think that they've got, they've got the car and somebody that may have been in that car. I think there's multiple things that they have that built up to this case. We'll find out a little bit of that when the probable cause affidavit's released. We won't find all of it out because the prosecutors like to hold back. They just need to meet that probable cause burden in that affidavit. They don't want to give their whole case away yet. So we'll find some of these answers out. Unfortunately, we won't find all of them out next week.
One more, Bobby, the extradition hearing. What show do they have to make there that might give us more insight into why they want this guy, or is that low because Pennsylvania can just say, yeah, go ahead, take him?
Yeah, there's only one issue in an extradition, and we used to refer to extradition hearings on the federal level as identity hearings, because the only issue is, are you the person named in the warrant? Because if it was a common name, Bob Smith or something, oh, I'm not that Bob Smith in that warrant, but he'd have to prove that he's not the person named in the warrant. It's only an identity issue. That's the only issue. Most of the time they waive that because, this is a guy, they have the goods. If he pushes for an extradition hearing, it'll take a couple more days, but it's a slam dunk. He's the guy. Not that he's guilty, but he's the guy that's named in the affidavit in support of the arrest warrant.
Jennifer, insight into this idea of if you were a part of this investigation, all the media scrutiny, it's a national news story, and they say, yeah, we think this is the person. I know that investigators want to cross the T's and dot the I's, but isn't there a heightened level of internal scrutiny in a situation like this to not swing and miss?
Absolutely, Chris. They have dotted their I's and crossed their T's before they ever went out to make this arrest. And quite frankly, the search warrants that are being executed today and possibly even still as we speak are going to bolster their case even more, I believe. They're looking for that knife. They are looking for DNA from those victims. They're looking for indicia of this crime. And I think their case is going to be bolstered once the returns from those warrants are received.
We are showing men through a window in what is believed to be Kohberger's on-campus apartment at Washington State University. We had one of our reporters there earlier saying that she had seen them go inside. They came in a pickup truck, and that they are obviously canvassing the apartment. That's why we were throwing you that. Now, Jennifer, you had said early on, I think this guy was in the house waiting for them. We do not see Kohberger in any of the video that has been released in terms of at the food truck or walking down the street. He does not appear to be the person they were with. He also shouldn't be with them because he's a 28-year-old doctoral student, not a college kid in Idaho. So what is just your general take of who this guy is and what they're saying about him?
Well, I think there is a nexus. I've personally seen it on social media where he was following Maddie, and on another platform following Maddie and Kaylee. So I think this was very well planned out. I believe he did surveillance at that house. I believe he knew their general patterns. Part of the reason I think he targeted this house was because it was really a sitting duck target. You had people going in and out at all hours. You had a house with a lot of activity, which meant, it would not go as being unusual for him to be around or him to be in that area watching. So I think that he very closely targeted this group.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.